We're on our way through to a 2-day course run by LendInvest today. They run these not-for-profit, so entirely free to attend, 2-day development courses across the country. We're at the one in Edinburgh, and I believe it's going to be a day of workshop type setups, presentations from expert architects, QSs, land sourcers, a whole host of different people. And basically I think they're intending to give new developers an introduction to everything you need to know, or I mean that's a grand statement, everything you need to know, but all the fundamentals of property development. So we'll let you know how we get on. We'll share a little bit of the content if we can, and hopefully we'll get a chance to have a chat with some of the team behind LendInvest as well.
Very simply, at the outset, do a quick back of calculation. There's no point suddenly throwing your entire team at things, and when actually, on the face of it, the asking price is so far outwith what makes sense. It's not worth looking at.
What kind of lot sizes are they now typically interested in looking at?
It's coming down quite a lot. And you maybe in your market, you'll probably find there are parties now coming in looking for smaller blocks.
To be honest, enforcement officers don't just walk the streets looking for problems. In the cuts, the enforcement officers are one of the first ones to go. So most councils might have 1 or 2 enforcement officers, so they do not have the time. They decided they wanted to build 8 stories and put 250 student beds on that quite small site.
So we've just broken for lunch at our LendInvest Developers Academy, and I've been able to grab 5 minutes with Ian Thomas, who is the co-founder and CIO, Chief Investment Officer of LendInvest. Now, first thing I wanted to ask you about was just to explain a little bit about the company LendInvest and how you're helping small-scale developers.
Okay, sure. So LendInvest was a business we set up in 2008. And we saw the opportunity in the market where there was lots of viable transactions, but there wasn't capital to be able to fund those transactions. So we initially entered the market within the short-term space, so property bridging finance, and more latterly we've done development finance. But it was really just seeing that there was an opportunity there, that if we could find the capital, there was definitely good deals we could match it into.
And the Developers Academy today is predominantly aimed at smaller developers who are maybe just coming into the market or have got a little bit of experience and looking to grow. Are they your target customers? Are they the type of people you're looking to work with?
So that's part of our target. So we think we're well placed to be able to sort of pass our knowledge and skills on to that SME developer. Yeah. So SME developers, sort of everyone, or perhaps everyone doesn't know, but should, is that they were the backbone of supply historically within the market, and since the recession, they completely, or they dramatically reduced in the market. So we thought we were well placed to pass that knowledge down to them, and then try and get them upskilled to be able to expand their businesses. So there's some small developers that we've historically funded that started off by doing 5-10 properties, and now they're doing hundreds of properties. They're very successful.
Working with someone like yourself versus going to a high street bank, what are the benefits to the developers?
Yeah. So our heritage is short-term lending and bridging, and that's all about speed. So we've got processes that mean we can deliver the funding quickly to the borrower. So there is a similar level of diligence, but you aren't having to wait for lots of committees to decide on different approvals.
It's lunchtime now on day 1. Really enjoyable morning so far. What's great about this event is it's following the chronological order you would follow on a development project. So we started this morning talking about finding land, then we went on to planning, then we went on to the architect. So it's great that it kind of guides you through that step-by-step process. And I'm really looking forward to this afternoon. How about you?
No, absolutely. I think for us, we probably should have been at the one in Manchester. It's actually a positive, I think. We're up in Edinburgh and it's got a very regional focus. There's a lot of local experts who have got case studies of projects they've been working on in Edinburgh and across the whole central belt, really. And a lot of the people in the room are obviously from up this neck of the woods. So for us, it would have been great to network with people down in Manchester as well and to get those local case studies. But for the people in Scotland to have something like this, they do regional ones. There was one in Manchester a few weeks ago. I think I'd love to go back on the one in Manchester again. But I mean, the content so far has been phenomenal. So for a free event, I think it's fantastic.
We all
all know that the challenges that the industry has faced since the financial crisis, and that sudden change placed great pressures right across the economy, but especially so in house building and in particular the SME sector.
Success is down to good planning, obtaining planning permission and planning the design process, design build, and getting yourself into really good shape in order to win funding and to follow through.
So first of all, I think the train is a far superior mode of transport than driving through. Much better commuting this morning. Today's session's focused more on the finance side of things, and then finally the exit. So I think we've got someone coming in to talk to us about whether you're going to sell the developments, rent them out, whatever else. So it's only a half day today, but I'm looking forward to it. Much more interested in the content that's being shared today, particularly from a finance and a funding point of view, to help us with a couple of our future projects. So we'll crack on with that and then let you know how we get on at the end of the day.
1 bedroom flat, home report 160.
That's my other offer on.
Did you?
Yeah.
35 notes of interest.
That's right.
Offers over 160.
That's right.
Started with a 3.
Started with 3.
Can't tell you what it ended with, but it started with a fucking 3. Right? We were all like, Jesus, is this where we're going? Is this what Edinburgh's going to be giving us? And the problem we have with Edinburgh at the moment is it's inside a little bubble. There's only about 800 of natural product out there. Once you strip away the pro and divisal stock, you strip out all the developer stock, you're left with 800 natural product that we would shift through and flip and trade and put out to buy collect. Then you strip out the 200 of that 800 that's over 750 and you're left with 600. That's why you get 1 bedroom garden flats in Morningside coming in with 12, 15 notes of interest. 1 bedrooms in the grass market with 35 notes of interest.
But in all seriousness, happy to talk through any schemes you might have and bounce those ideas off us. There's a spot of lunch out there now, so feel free to stay, and look forward to hopefully seeing your deals come across our desks in the future, and good luck with your projects and building more houses, and hopefully this has inspired you to get going with that. So yeah, thank you very much.
So that was basically the event. Overall, I'd say the content was superb. We met some great people in the room, including hopefully a couple of future guests on the podcast. And we got to have a chat with the guys at LendInvest about funding one of our upcoming projects, and they seem pretty keen to work with us on that. So that in itself made the whole trip worthwhile. Definitely worth getting along to if there's one coming up in your area. Particularly, like I say, if it is local to you, you can get the benefit of building that network of developers and aspiring developers in your area and meet some true experts in the field. So after that, we headed back to my family, spent some time with them over the weekend, obviously hung out with the dog, took him for a couple of walks, and then got back down to Manchester late last night to get progress on Churchgate, which is really drawing close to completion now. 2 more weeks and we should have our first tenants moving in, which is really exciting. But yeah, great event from LendInvest. Thank you so much for inviting us along, and I hope some of you guys get value from their course in the future as well. Remember, it's free. You can find out all the information about upcoming courses across the UK at lendinvest.com.